What's up, everybody? Welcome to The Revival. My name is JJ, and it's time for some more pickups. Okay, so I'm going to try and get through this relatively quickly, just because I have quite a few. Holidays have come and gone. It's been a while since I've done any pickups videos, so I've got quite a few here. And most of them were gifts or games that I just picked up because I saw that they were super cheap and had been wanting or missing. Missing and wanting. So let's just get into it. First up is a GameCube game, an RPG called Evolution Worlds. I don't know very much about it at all other than it just looks really, really cutesy. But it is an RPG on the GameCube, and so I didn't have it. I heard about it and saw it, and I was like, that's a cheap price? Sure, why not? So I picked it up, and I really don't know hardly anything about it. So if you know anything about Evolution Worlds on the GameCube, let me know, because I am curious if it's something I should get to sooner rather than later. I'll play it eventually. I just, RPG I didn't have, so it was a no-brainer for me. Next up, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. I never got into the Tony Hawk series when it was big back in the day. I was a Dave Mirra BMX player, fan. I really, really loved those games, but I always found these to be intriguing as well. These are the kind of games that are just like big playground, have fun, do whatever the hell you want, and just ride around and do tricks and just kind of explore this open area on a skateboard. So it's one of those games I know I'll play and just like throw on a podcast and just have fun with. So I'm super excited to check these out finally and actually get into it. When I heard they were doing a remake, I was just kind of like, hell yeah, or remaster, whatever it is. I was like, hell yeah, dude, I absolutely will dive into it at this point, especially since it's got 1 and 2. So definitely stoked to try that out at some point. Next is a game that doesn't really need any introduction. It's the new Assassin's Creed, Valhalla. I know I have said in the past that I'm working my way through the series, but I had a friend of mine who really wanted to see what this looked like, so I did pop it in and played a little bit of it, so I know kind of the intro area-ish. Played for like maybe an hour and a half or so. And I can't wait to get into more of it because it was really fun. So super stoked to eventually get to this game. I still have a handful of games to get through. As you saw on my, saw on my 20 games that I'm playing this year, I'm working my way through the series and I'm only on Unity at this point. So hopefully I can get Unity and Syndicate done this year and then get onto Origins, and then Odyssey, and then Valhalla, finally. So, next is another PS4 game that I'm kind of kicking myself for buying. Not because I didn't want it, but it's Greedfall. I've had my eye on this game for a while. I think it looked really, really fun and just neat. It's an RPG with pirates, man. So I definitely want to check it out. Thing is, right as soon as I bought it, which I got it for cheap, so I'm not like pissed off or anything, but like right after I got it, I saw that it was the PS Plus game for, I think, January. So I would have gotten it anyways for free digitally. So either way, I've got a physical copy now, so definitely looking forward to trying this out at some point because it looks really intriguing to me. I've heard mixed things, so if you've played this before, let me know what you think, because I'm curious as to what you guys have to think about it. Next up is, let's do 3 of these at the same time. I mentioned this on my my 20 games that I'm playing this year video, that I'm going to be playing Resident Evil for the first time, and they were a whole bunch on sale. Thanks to my buddy Lamont for pointing it out. I know, he was like, "You have no excuse, it's cheap." So I went on a spree since all these were really cheap. And that is the Resident Evil Origins Collection, Resident Evil 2, and Resident Evil 3. all on PS4. These are the remakes. I don't know much about them other than just what I've heard, but I'm really excited to get into them. And I've all but decided that this is probably going to be the version of Resident Evil that I play this year, because, again, have not dived into the series yet, but I think playing the remake is probably going to help me get into it a little easier, since the main reason I want to play it is not for the gameplay, it's for the story. So, yeah, can't wait to check that out. So, happy to have those in the collection. Got to get the other ones after 3 now as well, so just waiting for price drops on those. Next, Watch Dogs Legion. Honestly, I wasn't, like, in the beginning super stoked for it, because I'm more of a, like, give me a main character and somebody that I can play as, that I can relate to and enjoy playing as. And this being one where you mix and match your team and that kind of thing is fine. I just prefer to have a main character. But I like the other Watch Dogs games so much that I eventually caved and was like, you know what, I'll ask for Christmas. If I get it, great. And I did, and I got it. So, I have it. I will definitely play this. Super stoked to, because I love the Watch Dogs series. I have a lot of fun with those games. And yeah, can't wait to see what this one has to offer. Alright, next we got some Switch games. First one up is the art style, and then the art style caught my eye. And then after reading what it was, I was like, oh, okay, yeah. And that is Nexomon Extinction. This is a straight-up Pokemon clone. Like, not the newer ones, but like old school top-down, Game Boy, DS kind of games. Go look it up. It's literally Pokemon, just with different skin. But the art style looks really cool, and I you know what? I love those games so much, and this was so cheap that I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna give it a shot, and I will definitely play this at some point, because it just seems like they have a few quality of life. I watched some reviews on it. They have a few quality of life changes that the original Pokemon games didn't have, that I thought sounded kind of neat. So I definitely will be checking this out at some point. Again, I just thought the art style, and if you go look at like a video of it or something like that, the animations in combat are beautiful. Like, it's just really, really gorgeous artwork in this. So definitely looking forward to giving that a shot. Next is a game that Civilization 6. So I saw that it was coming out on the Switch, and I was like, you know what? That's a game that I will lose myself in. I remember playing Civ 4, and I wasn't crazy about Civ 5, but Civ 4, it was one of those games where you start playing, and then 20 minutes go by, and you look at the clock, and it's actually been like 7 hours. You just keep thinking to yourself, one more turn, all right, one more turn, and over again, and then just time just goes out the window, and you don't even notice it. I really, really loved Civ 4 so much, and given how cheap this was, I threw it on my Christmas list. I was like, here's a really cheap game. If you want to, Amanda, my girlfriend, she got it for me. I was like, she was asking me what I want and stuff, and I threw some cheap games on there, just because I was like, this is really easy to find. It'll be super sweet. Just go ahead and grab it. And she got me this, so I'm super stoked to try this one out at some point. The other one she got me was... There was another one too. Oh, you know what? It was the Tony Hawk. Tony Hawk was the other one. I thought it was another Switch game. No, it was the Tony Hawk game that she got me as well. So both of those I'm just super looking forward to diving into. Next, I've been waiting for this for a while. That is Grandia HD, the Grandia Collection HD, I should say, on Switch, physical edition. It's been out for a while digitally, but I didn't want to pay that kind of a price for digital copy of one game that I've already played, and another one that I honestly just didn't want to pay that much for, because I wasn't sure what to expect. Because I played Grandia 2, it was fine, but I've heard such great things, and Grandia 1, the first Grandia, has such a huge cult following and really, really big as far as like old school RPGs on the PS1. I really wanted to experience it at some point. When I heard that Limited Run was doing a physical edition, I was like, you know what, I'll spring for the few extra bucks because I like the art, and this is just a really, really cool looking cover. The Switch games just look so great on the shelf. They really do. So I am super excited to finally dive into the first Grandia at some point on this. Like I said, I played the second one, and I don't know that I'll play it again. It was fine. It just wasn't what I was really into as much at the time. So next up, just a couple of games that I picked up because I wanted them, and they were on sale for dirt cheap, and that's Final Fantasy X and X-2 and Final Fantasy XII Zodiac Age. Remasters of the original games on the Switch. I didn't have them yet, and I knew I wanted to get them at some point. So as soon as I saw how much they were, or how little they were, I should say, I was like, I'm done. No brainer. And I picked them up. I'm just happy to have them again. Look great on the shelf. And I would probably say the next time I dive into, because Final Fantasy games are always ones that I go back to, I will most likely play these on the Switch, because it's, you know, you have them on the go and stuff like that. So I'm really excited to have those in my collection finally. God, they just look so great on the shelf. They really do. Alright, so the next three games have a little bit of a story to it. So Adrian, from my friend who I do the Pixel Perspective podcast with, sends me a picture of a trip to Walmart that he made. And dude, like, scored, like, I want to say, like, 15 games, like, just dirt cheap. And, like, a lot of them were doubles and triples and quadruples of the same game. But they were so sought after, but so cheap at the time. A lot of you may have seen, like, Octopath Travelers and Xenoblade Chronicles and all this stuff, like, for Switch, going for, like, $10 at different Walmarts around the country. A lot of them, you know, went like that. I tried looking around my area and could not find anything on those, because I had no intention of getting some of these, but if I saw them for $10, yes, I absolutely would have cleaned them out too. So he bought multiple copies of the games he found, and I was like, hey, you want to send a couple of those my way? He's like, yeah, sure. So $10 a piece, sent them my way. I was like, hell yeah. And through that, I got Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition and Tokyo Mirage Sessions Fire Emblem Encore. That's a whopper of a name. So as far as Xenoblade Chronicles goes, I may fire it up just to see what it looks like. It's no secret I've never been crazy about the battle system in this game. I thought the story was good. I thought the game was drop dead gorgeous on the Wii. That's why I might go back to it. But the battle system, it was so slow for me, and I just did not enjoy it. I also didn't like how the equipment system worked. I could do a whole video on why I wasn't a fan of this game. I shouldn't say I wasn't a fan. I wasn't as big of a fan as most other people are that play it. But I definitely appreciated it, and for $10, this is easily worth it. Yes. So I would have paid, $20, $30 for it, to be honest with you. And the other one is a game that I have on the Wii U, but you know what, frankly, if I can get it on the Switch, I'd rather play it on the Switch. So that's why I picked it up. And like I said, $10 was nothing. So not only that, he kind of pulled one over on me. So for I didn't mention this, and we didn't talk about it on a Pixel Perspective either, but I wanted to do something for him for Christmas. I wanted to send him something as an appreciation for just being a good friend and hanging out with me and freaking chauffeuring me at conventions we went to and talking games with me, doing this show with me, and just being an all-around good dude. And I wanted to send him a Christmas present. So the problem was I didn't want him to feel obligated to send me something if I did that. I knew that if I said something to him was like, hey, what's your address? I need to send you. He'd be like, I know something's up. Tell me what's going on. And then he would want to send me something. So I tried to be as discreet as possible. I didn't say a word to him. I reached out to Amy, his wife, on Facebook, and I was like, all right, I need you to keep this on the hush-hush. I need you to go into his game room and find out if he's got this. And I linked a couple of eBay items that I saw that I thought he would like. One of them was a pin collection for Dark Souls that had pixelated pins, which was really cool looking. And the other one was a Dark Souls 2 art book. Just gorgeous artwork on the inside from the small snippets that I've seen of it. And I knew he would like those. So I sent her a message, and she was like, oh yeah, I'll find out. So she found out, didn't have them, sends me the address, and this was like, I don't know, 4 or 5 months prior to Christmas. So we knew about this months going into it, and Christmas came, he finally got it and everything like that. He's like, dude, you have to let me send you something. And I was like, no, that was the whole point, man. I'm not giving you my address. He has my old address, but not my new one. I was like, I'm not giving it to you. No, sorry, this is something I wanted to do for you. And he was like, I want to send you, I have 2 copies of the Fire Emblem Special Edition for the Switch, the one that they came out with for the remaster, not remaster, like the re-release of the digital version of the original NES game, which I think is awesome. But I was like, I don't know that I'm necessarily going to pick it up because money's tight right now. I'm not like, it's just a little too much for me and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I have 2 of them. I want to send you one. Just give me your address. And I was like, no. And I held firm. Didn't say anything, didn't talk anything about it for like a whole month. And then when we did this, obviously I had to give him my address because he was giving me those. And he threw this in the box, the jerk. Dude, thank you so much. Seriously, it's awesome. And I'm not going to I hate doing unboxings, so I'm not going to do it. 1,000 other people on this platform have done unboxings of this thing. Go check it out, especially the freaking the art book is awesome, and the Nintendo cartridge, the clear thing in there, is so cool looking. Definitely go check it out. This is too much. I'm a little sore that he did it, but I'm also very appreciative, and it's awesome that he did that and almost got away with it. I know I definitely won't be able to get away with it next year, so we might. I would imagine we'll probably make it some kind of a tradition, and hopefully maybe do something on the show around Christmas time regarding that kind of thing and gift exchange and whatnot. But thank you, Adrian, and thank you to my mom and my girlfriend and people who discount games to where I can buy them cheap. Thank you so much to everybody, and got more stuff coming in the future. So thank you for watching. Once again, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. You know the drill. And as always, keep on gaming.